Hey folks, welcome to Kayak DIY. Here, myself and my father head off to ICAST, where we're going to be filming the latest products in paddle sports and fishing. Check it out. Hey folks, Kayak DIY here, and right now I am at Vibe Kayak. What can you tell me about the one we're standing in front of right now, which is the SeaGhost 130?
So the SeaGhost 130, a lot of you guys already know the SeaGhost 130. It's kind of the tried, tested, true, the go-to boat nowadays. It's our 13-foot sit-on-top fishing kayak. Comes in at $8.99, and the whole point of this boat was to give paddlers everything needed to get on the water for their first experience. I didn't want them to have to stop and think about gear tracks or fishing water holders. We integrated as much as we could into this boat to give an excellent price point for your first kayak fishing experience. So jumping into the boat, so our boats come with it has a front hatch on up here. Comes with a bag insert to keep your tools and equipment from sliding down in the hull. Great place for dry bags and extra water. Coming on down, we've got two integrated tracks on the front for mounting all your Yak Attack products, your low-inch fish finders, anything you can think of, tools. Center console right here, nice large open space that totally fits a can of beer sideways. So you can put ice packs and cans of beer, just line that thing up. Great space for your plastics and the tackle that you're grabbing immediately on the water.
Now your transducer.
We got a transducer scupper right here. You can't really see it from here, but on the bottom of the kayak there's a transducer port with a cover plate to protect that transducer. If you're doing any kind of river fishing and getting through some shoals, you don't have to worry about your boat catching on the transducer pocket. A nice sturdy cover plate underneath it. Moving on down, we have a nice comfortable frame seat with a high-low position. Pop the bungee. We have a tackle storage on the sides. It fits 3600 series of Plano boxes. Coming on back, we have a 8-inch hatch in the back right here for another quick place to drop some water or a quick dry bag or something. And the big thing it also gives you is haul access for rigging. So if you're mounting some stuff to the back here, like some Mighty mounts, some Yak Attack Mighty mounts or something, this gives you a quick, easy way to get underneath it to do that. We have two flush mount rod holders in the back. Integrated gear tracks on the back as well for back to Yak Attack. Good place to stick your carbon Visi Pro flag. And all of our SeaGhosts come with a rudder kit already pre-installed. I'm gonna have to skip up front real quick. It's a gas pedal style rudder. You got your left and your right actuated motions, and you got your release right here. The boat also has a sacrificial skid plate on the bottom. So if you're dragging your boat up a boat ramp or down the bank, you won't damage your keel. And that's the SeaGhost 130. Cool, guys. So this right here is the Maverick 120. It's a hybrid vessel that we launched earlier in the year. This boat is it's designed for kayak fishermen to get a new experience. They get a nice open deck. It's bringing in the best of an SUP world, but keeping it as a kayak platform. So it's designed to fit a Larry chair or a hero seat or a cooler as your seating base and paddle it with a kayak from a high seat position. So let's just walk there from the front here. So we've got 4 hard handles here on the sides and on the back. We have a nice large bungee area up here. And what I love about this boat is it gives you a nice clean place to put your landing net and your hog trough. When you're kayak fishing tournaments, one of the biggest issues or one of the difficult things is where do you put your hog trough, right? Like it's tucking it behind you or your landing net getting snagged, with hooks or whatever on the back. This is a nice large area. I usually actually keep it this way, tucked in that bungee. So it's easy from the seated position just to reach up here, grab it, go, flip it back away when you're done. Best part about this is all this open deck space. It has a gear track up here, good spot for mounting a Yak Attack roto grip. We have tracks on the sides for anything you want, right? Your rod holders, your transducer box, tools. We've got on the sides, we have bungee paddle parks on the sides, so for your paddle or your stakeout pole. Right now we've got this one fitted with the Larry chair. And one of the things that's super awesome is, like I said earlier, you have 3 different seating options as our primary ones, but really it's the sky's the limit. We've got guys that are doing just a real quick trip, and they don't put a seat on it at all. You just grab it, toss it out there, go. Treat it like a board if you want at that point. Most of our customers go with the Larry chair for the higher seat. This is their newer aluminum version, so it won't corrode or rust like their previous standard Larry chair.
Or the other thing you could do, which I'm sure you were going to get into, is Vibe also makes coolers, and they're actually pretty dang affordable in the market. LEX Fishing, one of my friends, has one, and you could use the cooler as the chair, and I know a lot of people are doing that. They're strapping the cooler down, you got the tie downs here, and they're sitting on that and using that as their seat.
Especially your flats guys. The guys that are hitting the flats that need a better line of sight. It's real easy to strap that down, mount it to the deck, and stand and fish from that as well. The biggest thing, I just skipped over the most important feature actually. The most important feature about this boat, which makes it different from all the other rotomolded hybrid vessels out there, is we foam injected it. Because we make these coolers and we have the foam injection capabilities, we actually foam injected this entire board. So this is a solid deck. There's no flexing in it whatsoever. You can see it's braced up with coolers underneath it, but this is it's solid. It doesn't bend, it's not going to wave, it's not going to flex, you're not going to get any distortion in the heat. So when you're trying to stand up, especially if you're kind of new to standing on a paddle watercraft, paddle boards or kayaks, this is super easy. It's super solid and stable. Coming back here, we have 2 more tracks in the back. On the sides here, great for mounting your coolers or a crate. And then we have a bungee tie-down system in the back as well. And so for tracking, this boat's 12 feet long. We have 2 molded in fins on the side, and then we still have a traditional chine like a kayak down the center. So it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. When you're paddling and you actually get the boat up and moving, it tracks straight as a dart. But when you're sitting still, because it has a very shallow, 3.5 to 4 inch draft, it's real easy to turn the boat. It's very maneuverable when you're going slow. Just a quick paddle stroke and you can turn your boat almost 90 degrees. So it's great for running rivers and shooting shoals and getting around obstruction. And then when you want to get up and go, you're going straight. You don't have to fight a waddle with this boat. Here we've got the Yellowfin 130T. This is a newer boat that we released late last year, beginning of the year for 2018. This is the tandem version of our Yellowfin 100 series, so a lot of the features are going to be very similar to that Yellowfin 100. But one thing that makes this boat extremely unique is we put your typical frame seats, which are on higher end boats, we put them on a tandem. We feel like just because you're paddling with somebody else doesn't mean you should give up comfort. It should be for everyone. So this boat can also be paddled solo from the center seat position. It comes right here, and once it's in the center seat position, the foot pegs can move all the way forward for solo paddling. This boat also comes, I'm going to kind of bounce around here a little bit just because now we're at this seated position. We also have a rudder capabilities on this boat. It has a rudder pin, and we already have cables run for it. And once you install the rudder kit, you can control it from both the front and the back seating position, and from the center. I didn't want you to have to pick and choose, well, I'm in back, I want to steer, now I'm by myself in the center. So all 3 seating positions can control the rudder. Awesome. So coming back up to the front then, let me put this seat back real quick. We have a small cargo area up here that fits a small dry bag. Same 4 hard handles that are on all of our boats. We have a little storage area here for loose tackle, cup holder. There's a mounting spot here. We have one of our gear track bases on here, but this fits Scotty. It fits your Scotty base rod holders, and it fits our base. Right here we've got a nice 8-inch hatch. Great place for dropping in bottles of water for the day, your Powerade, your Gatorade, your snacks. We have a tackle tray storage on the sides from both this seating position and the rear seating position. Fits a 3600 series tackle trays. Moving on back, we have another mounting place for another rod holder. Another 8-inch hatch in the back. And along the sides, all along the boat here, we have recessed areas if you want to drop in some Yak Attack gear tracks. This fits the Yak Attack gear tracks perfectly. And then moving on to the back, a nice cargo area here for a small cooler, whatever you need for the trip. And then 2 flush mount rod holders in the back. And then, as I said before, we already run all the tubes for the rudders, so you don't have to deal with running the tubes through the boat. It makes it real easy to run your cables through. We pre-pipe the boat for the consumers. And then in the back, we've got the rudder pin.
So the rudder would just drop right in. Most rudders just have a simple pin design, and it just drops right in. You put a pin on the bottom, and it keeps it from pulling out, and then you just run the lines in. It's a pretty simple setup.
cool. So in here we've got the Yellowfin 100. This is our go-to recreational model. It's extremely popular out there right now. It's this boat retails for $649, comes with the paddle and the seat. It's a big part of what we do is we want to make sure our customers get everything they need right out the gate. You don't have to sit here and stop and think about paddles or seating and all that jazz. The boat comes with everything you need to get on the water on your first trip. So this boat's, it's a Yellowfin 100. It's 10 feet long. We've got 2 hatches right here. Both these hatches come with a little insert bag. So you don't lose stuff down the hull. You can store water or gear for the day. Has our hero seat, the extremely comfortable and lightweight hero seat. Mounts in right here. Great camping chair, great beach chair too. You just pop it off, drop it on the bank. It has tackle tray storage on the side, so if you're going to fish from it, we've got 2 tackle tray slots here for a 3600 series Plano box. It has 2 flush mount rod holders on the back. A nice large cargo area, great for a cooler, cooler gear, dry bags, a fishing crate.
Molded in inserts, what are those?
These molded inserts right here, that's for adding an outrigger. So if you're concerned about stability and you're going on long trips, you can add an outrigger to it, or a trolling motor mount as well. You can mount a bracket to it, and you mount a trolling motor pretty easily. 2 paddle parks on the sides for a stake-up hole on one side, a paddle on the other side. It has 2 rod holders up front as well. These are actually extremely helpful for when you catch a fish, you pull it in. It's just great places to stage your rod while you're dehooking the fish and releasing your fish.
Yeah, a lot of companies don't have the flush mount rod holders up in front, which I really like because they're low profile, less snagging, and a lot of them will have them in the back, but they won't have them in the front. And I know the companies that include them in the front, people love them. So.
Then we also have a little paddle rest up here. So one of the things the paddle can walk off the kayak pretty easily when you're not using it. So we have a little place to rest the paddle up here. Adjustable foot braces, a lot more comfortable than like your typical Molden foot braces that you see on lower end kayaks. Another mounting place right here for a fish finder or rod holder, cup holder, and that about sums it up. So this boat's $650 with the seat, paddle. It's extremely comfortable, stable boat. Just a great, comfortable way to get on the water.
Very competitive too at that price. A lot of features for the money.